Hello. Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. Tonight, we have a very, very wonderful topic to discuss, one that is usually not paid attention to, but one I believe that needs to be talked about. Hi, I see that someone has joined. If you've joined, please let me know in the comments so I can give you a shout out, all right? Good evening, and share this link with your friends. So the topic is one that um, I should have talked about long before now. Actually, I had this conversation on my YouTube, um, on my Facebook page before now, but I just found that it's a topic that needs to be talked about again and again because we can't really overemphasize this topic. What topic am I talking about? Self love and acceptance. So, good evening again. Comment and let me know where you're joining me from. I cannot wait to have a very wonderful time with you. So, let me know where you're joining me from. Give me a shout out, and I will give you a shout out too. All right. So, while we wait for others to join, I will get started because I don't intend to keep us here for too long as usual. Okay. So, tonight we'll be discussing self love and acceptance. And we'll be seeing practical ways of coming to terms with who you are and doing what? Living your best life. Self love and acceptance, practical ways of coming to terms with who you are and living your best life. All right. Usually, these two topics are usually intertwined. When someone wants to say self love, they say self acceptance. They are very, very different. Hello, Farinre. I see that you're here. Thanks for joining. I'm Nigerian. Okay, I'm Nigerian too. It's good to have you here. Okay, so self love and self acceptance, they are very different things. They are very different concepts, though not mutually exclusive, but they are different. And it's important that we create that we create that distinction between both of them, all right, so that we know this is what this is and this is what the other one is. All right. So why did I come up with this topic? Why did I choose this topic for this particular conversation, for this particular episode of our conversation? Because I've seen people who think that they are just that this is who they are, who give out very negative aura and energy, saying, "Oh, this is who I am." No, it's not who you are. They think that that is their natural disposition without knowing that they are like that because they are yet to accept themselves and they are yet to come to terms with who they are. Okay, so tonight we'll be looking at self love and acceptance, and I'll be showing you practical ways to come to terms with who you are, accept the totality of your being, and how to live your best life. Because what is life? What is living? What is good living if you are not living the life that you want to live, if you're not being true to yourself, if you are not healed from past hurts, right? Okay, so I'll start with the definition of self acceptance and then self love. I like to see self love, I like to see self acceptance as a subset of self love. Like self acceptance is a part of self love, all right? So, what is self acceptance? Self acceptance is coming to terms with who you are. Self acceptance is looking at your life as it is and being okay with what you see, right? Accepting what you see. I wrote it here and I said, self acceptance is coming to terms with every part of you, both the negative and the positive. You know, it's very easy for us to accept the positive sides to us, right? Oh, I have a very beautiful hair, so I accept that I have a good hair. I have very beautiful qualities. I don't even need anyone to tell me to accept those beautiful qualities, right? I don't need anyone to tell me to accept that I'm brilliant. I don't need anyone to motivate me to accept the beautiful things about myself. But what about the negative? What about the negative sides to me? I keep denying those negative sides to me without actually coming to terms, without knowing that until I accept myself, until I accept the totality of who I am, both the positive and the negative, I cannot move forward. I cannot live a life that is wholesome. Am I making sense here? You have to be okay with accepting the good and the bad. So the good is already on autopilot. The good is already on automatic. You already automatically accept the good. But what about the bad? What about your hot-temperedness? What about those not so good features of you? What about those things that you don't really like about yourself? How are you able to manage it? How are you able to look at? How do you even look at those not so pleasant sides to you? How do you, what is your perspective? What is your disposition to those sides to you that you don't really like? So let's say you have knocked knees, you know, those knees that are like this. What is your disposition to that? Let's say you are hot-tempered. Let's say you don't like the shape of your nose. Let's say you don't like the color of your skin. How do you come to terms with that? If you were fair and you wanted to be fair, it's easy for you to accept it and love yourself for being fair and for being dark if dark skin is your thing, right? If you had pointed nose, you'll be flaunting your nose everywhere. But if you had flat nose, what do? What is your disposition to those parts of you that you don't really like? Self-acceptance is not just about accepting the good. You already accept the good. It's already automatic that you accept the good. But it's also it has a lot to do with accepting those negative sides to you. Because until you do that, until you come to terms with every part of your being, you cannot move forward. You cannot make significant progress in your personal life and in your personal development. Okay? So, self-acceptance is accepting your reality. A lot of us don't even accept what is going on in our lives. A lot of us live in denial of what happened to us, the experiences that we had. A lot of us live in denial of everything that goes on in our lives that we don't like, and the things that happened in our lives that we don't really like. What am I talking about? I remember when I was in my new book, Dear Young One, I wrote there that I don't remember my life as a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 15-year-old. Yes, because I was trying to run away from that person that was constantly molested by pedophiles. I hated myself. I hated myself to the point that my saliva disgusted me. I don't know if there's a higher form of hatred than that. The taste of my saliva disgusted me. I don't remember what it was like, what it is like to be 13, to be 14, to be 15 years old. Because I couldn't accept myself. I couldn't accept my reality. If I had accepted my reality, maybe I could have talked about what was going on in my life with an adult. I didn't open up to anyone about what was going on in my life. And so I was just running away from that person, from that young girl who was being molested every now and then. So not accepting yourself can cause a lot of damage to you. Not accepting your reality, wishing that everything would just go away. You don't even want to think about it. You don't even want to give it a second thought. And you think that it's going to go away like that. Things happened in your past that made you hurt, that left you wounded, heavily wounded, deeply wounded. And you're relegating them to the back, thinking that time is going to heal. Yes, time is going to heal when you commit to healing, not when you are denying. A closed wound is not a wound that will heal. A wound that is not tended to will only get infected. That is the truth. So if you had negative experiences, if you had people in your life who hurt you, who made life miserable for you, and you are just denying that happened. If you were raped at any point and you keep on denying that it didn't happen, that you keep on denying that it happened, you keep on telling yourself that this didn't happen, you will continue going through life hurt and wounded, emotionally battered, because you don't even realize that you are causing yourself this much pain, and it's going to tell on upcoming relationships, on your relationships, romantic or not, because you find that you are easily angered, or if anything that looks like what happened to you before comes up, that alarm goes off in your head, and your brain will try to defend you, to save you from anything like that happening again, because you are not able to open up to anyone, because you've not accepted that something traumatic happened in your past and you needed to commit to healing. Self-acceptance does not mean that the not so pleasant attributes that you had, or that you have, or the not so pleasant experiences and past that you have. Though self-acceptance does not mean that you are fine, that it is okay that they happened. No, you're not making any excuses for what happened in your past. You're not making any excuses for the things that people did to you, right? You're not making any excuses for your crooked nose, your crooked teeth, and all that. You're not making any excuses for your bodily flaws. Or you're saying, okay, these things have happened in my life. These things are what have happened, and there's nothing I can do about it. So what do I need to do to move forward? Oh, I don't like that I have stretch marks on my hips. What do I do? Oh, I don't like that this and this happened, or that I don't like that I have this kind of legs and all that. But I've accepted myself the way I am. You don't need to run away from who you are and the things that happen to you, from your experiences. If you don't face it, it's going to haunt you forever. Please write this down. A fear you don't confront will continue to haunt you. A fear you don't confront will continue to haunt you, no matter how long it takes. But when you're able to stand and face it, it's going to give way. So self-acceptance is coming to terms with everything that has happened to you, everything that you are, all your bodily attributes and your insecurities, the good and the bad, the pleasant and the not so pleasant. Am I making sense? Please let me know that. Say yes, so that I will know that I'm making sense. Hello, Bright Jennifer. I see that you're here. It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Now let's move on to self-love. Self-love, I have a formula for self-love. I haven't seen it anywhere. I just came up with it. In my opinion, self-love is equal to self-acceptance plus intentionality. Self-acceptance plus intentionality. Now, before I move on to self-love, Ivanla said that self-acceptance, let me read it out here. Self-acceptance is the very first step you need to take towards loving yourself. Self-acceptance is the very first step you need to take towards loving yourself. So what is self-love? It is self-acceptance plus intentionality. Self-love is coming to terms with who you are, right? It's being aware of the things that have happened to you, coming face to face with your fears, coming face to face with your flaws, knowing your insecurities, being aware that you are insecure or that you are hurt, and then making conscious efforts to get better. So let's say that I have a hot temper. I used to be very hot-tempered, so I'll use that a lot here. All right. Winning Wives Club, it's good to have you here. Thanks for joining, ma'am. So I used to be very, very hot-tempered. But I never accepted that I was hot-tempered. I mean, why? Why would you even tell me that I'm hot-tempered? I wouldn't even allow that discussion to come up. But here's what happens. The moment I began to be aware of my temperament, Chinaza, you need to change. I saw that it was not good. Okay, I accepted it. Okay, Chinaza, this is what's going on with you. You are hot-tempered, right? So what can we do? How do you get away from this? I started researching online. I started making efforts to get better. Because self-love is being aware of the things that make you you and making conscious efforts and being intentional about improving on your weaknesses and, maximizing your strengths. Self-love is doing the things that make you happy. Self-love is doing the things that give your body rest. Self-love is committing to growth. That is self-love. Self-love is ensuring that your weaknesses don't get the best of you. Okay, I have some weaknesses, right? I have some insecurities, but I'm not allowing my insecurities to dictate what goes on in my life. So let's say I'm a public speaker, right? And I am very, very insecure about my voice. I don't like that my voice is raspy. I don't like that my voice is deep. Like, it's an example, all right? My voice is not that deep. But as a public speaker, right? And this person doesn't like that her voice is deep and all that, right? So before she comes on stage, she's aware already that she has a deep voice, but there is nothing she can do about it. So she commits to just making sure that her voice is refined enough to capture the attention of her audience, refined enough to make sure that her messages are well passed across. So when she climbs up stage, she is aware that her voice is deep. She's not so comfortable with her voice, but she has come to terms with it, and she has made significant efforts to see that she is doing something good with her voice. So she's not allowing her insecurity about her voice to stop her from the impact she's supposed to make as a speaker. That is self-love. It has different shades. Now, self-love is not selfishness. It is very, very different. Very, very, totally different. All right? So, accepting yourself does not mean that you have to be mediocre. Accepting that you have some flaws and you have some weaknesses doesn't mean that you have to remain where you are. No. It is just being aware of your current state. Self-awareness is being aware of where you are in your current journey. But that doesn't mean that you have to remain there. That doesn't mean that you are fine being here. It's just coming to the awareness of, okay, this is where I am. And this is where I'm going, right? So how do I go from here to here? So first, self-love is that awareness. Self-acceptance is that awareness and coming to terms with where you are in your journey. While self-love is committing to growth to get there. All right? We recognize and identify our current reality. That is self-acceptance. Now, you don't pursue change from a place of denial. So many of us want to change ourselves, we want to change our lives. But what exactly are you changing? What exactly are you committing to change? So many of us want to heal from emotional wounds. What exactly is it that you want to heal from? You cannot heal from a hurt you have not acknowledged. Does that make sense to anyone here? You cannot heal from a hurt you have not acknowledged. You cannot make progress when you don't even know where you are. You have to first of all be aware of where you are before you try to figure out how to get to where you need to be. All right? So how do you know that you don't love yourself? What are the signs of someone who doesn't love him or herself? I'm going to list out a couple of them here. And if you are guilty of any of this, just know that you maybe do not love yourself enough. Maybe you don't accept your reality enough. And it is time for a change. If you must make progress in your personal life, because I keep saying this, I'm not interested in what you do professionally. I'm not interested in who you are in front of the spotlight. I am very much interested in who you are when the lights are off. I'm interested in who you are when you are out of your office and back to the house. I'm interested in your mindset when the light is off, when you have turned off the lights in your room and you are about to sleep. Who are you then? What is the state of your mind? What is the quality of your life? That is all I am about. your personal wellness, flourishing in your personal life. So pay attention to all of these things that I'm going to list out. If you are guilty of any of them, it's time for a change. Let me give you a shout out. I see a couple of you have joined. Bro Joe, thanks for tuning in. Angel Leonard, it's good to have you here. You are always here. Bryce Jennifer, yes, you cannot heal from a hurt you have not acknowledged. That's right. Idara, I hope I pronounced that right. Good evening. I'm glad you're here too. Thanks for tuning in. So, how do you know that you don't love or accept yourself? You hate the idea of you. You hate the idea of you. How many of you wish you were someone else? How many of you wish you could do things like somebody else? Now, this is not bad in any way. Like, it's not bad, but how many of you abhor yourself? How many of you can't even look at yourself in the mirror? How many of you don't even think that you are good enough? How many of you don't think that you deserve anything good? How many of you hate to think about yourself and your life? You hate the idea of you. In my case, it could be that I hate the idea of Chinaza Favour. Like, what's the big deal? My life is already messed up. If you hate the idea of you, of the person of you, then there's a problem. I don't care what you do professionally, there's a problem. Because if you hate the idea of you, if you cannot be okay with who you are as a person, as an individual, I don't know what you'll be doing professionally. What are you going to be bringing to the table? When you flourish in your personal life, your professional life will flourish seamlessly as a result. Do you agree with me? Type yes. Type yes if you do. When you flourish in your personal life, when your mental state is stable, when you are okay in your mind, I'm not saying you are score. I'm trying to say when your mindset will flourish, you'll be in the best mental state to produce, to create. I see your comments, Victoria. I see your comments, Bro Joe. Thank you. So if you hate the idea of you, it's time for a change. You always think that others are better than you. You always you think highly of others. You think so highly of others. Others are very magnified in your face or in your eyes, to the point that you don't even think any good of yourself. You think so highly of others and very lowly of yourself. Now, this is not humility. This is self-denial. This is not the humility where we are told to think highly of others or think that others are better than us. No. This one is when you know that you can do something, but you are not even doing anything. You don't even believe that you can do it. Someone who doesn't even do it as much as you do it, you give the credit to that person. No, that's not humility. You are denying yourself. You are denying your genius. You are betraying your genius. You are betraying your creativity. That's what you are doing. You've not accepted yourself enough to give yourself credit that you deserve. Oh, I battled with this for a very long time, and I've still not gotten over it completely. I'm on a journey. I used to have imposter syndrome for a very long time. For a very long time. I could do something and others are like, wow, how did you do that? I'm like, don't. In fact, when people come to tell me, Chinaza, you're doing so well, yeah, I don't even feel like I should receive that commendation. Yes, I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress in that regard. And if you're like me, it is time for a change. Because when you don't give yourself credit, another person will take that credit. If it's a reward that you're supposed to receive, someone else, you watch someone else go walk up to the stage and take the reward that is due to you. Now, that is self-denial. You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be like that. You compare yourself negatively with others. You compare yourself unhealthily with others. Now, there's nothing wrong with healthy comparison. Comparison is not altogether bad, right? Just like we talked about peer pressure in a previous episode of this talk show, we said that peer pressure is not bad. It depends on who is in your circle, right? Comparison is not bad in itself. It depends on what you are comparing and your mindset in that, while comparing. When you are always negatively comparing yourself with others, you are giving yourself anxiety. You're making yourself prone to anxiety. You're making yourself prone to depression because you will never feel worthy. You will never feel good enough. How many of you are comparing yourself with someone else's number 20 or level 20 when you are still in level 2? Before you compare yourself with others, please know what level they are. Know where they are in their journeys so that you know whether you are measuring well. It's not bad to compare. Actually, comparing will make you know whether you are doing well, whether that is why we have scale for children, right? We have an average, we have above and we have below, overweight and underweight. We have height scales for children too. And we have average, right? So that you can know how your child is doing. Every time you go for a hospital visit, they must weigh and check the height of your child to know whether they are in your child is in the average range or below the healthy range or above the healthy range. So it's not bad to compare, but what is the content of your comparison? What is your mindset while comparing? What is going on in your mind when you compare? That is what I am after. That is what I am about. That is what I am more concerned with. Don't think so negatively of yourself. Don't negatively compare yourself with others. It will breed jealousy. It will breed envy. It will breed every negative emotion you can think of. And it will make you not even have the motivation to go ahead with what you have in store for you or what you have already planned for yourself. It will make you very demotivated. So stop unhealthy comparison. It's not helping you. All right. The fourth sign that you are not accepting or loving yourself enough is you overdo everything in your bid to prove your worth. If you're on this table, please say hi, because I used to be on this table too. I used to be here. Oh, I used to overdo everything. I was always looking for validation. I was always looking for approval from people. Why? Because I had not accepted myself enough. I had not loved myself enough to think that my validation of myself is enough. But then, because I was not okay with what was going on with me, right? Because I was not self-sufficient, because I hadn't loved myself enough, I felt like the love of another is what I need to make up for the love that I was lacking in me. So I was always constantly trying to prove my worth. But these days, I do me. These days, I do what feels right to me. I do what I am convinced is right. Hi. I see all of you. You're on this table. Let's shatter it once and for all. Osoji Grace, thanks for joining. Divine, thanks for joining. Michael, thanks for tuning in. Stop trying to prove your worth to anyone. If you're going to prove your worth, prove it to yourself. Show up as you. Have boundaries. We've talked about boundaries and its importance. If you don't love yourself, you will continue doing things that will make others like you. If you don't love yourself enough, you'll continue being nice. We talked about kindness, and we said that kindness is not niceness. Being kind is not equal to being nice. When you are nice, you're trying to gain the approval of others. But when you're kind, you're doing what feels good, what is good to you, what is good for you, what is aligned with your values. Do you even have a list of values that you live by? Do you even have boundaries? Can you say no? Can you stop trying to tweak something that's already good because you are trying to make it as perfect as possible? Because you want to prove that you are good enough for this job. Because you don't want others to see that side of you that is not perfect. When you don't love yourself enough, when you don't accept yourself enough, you continually try to prove your worth. You don't need that. You don't need to validate yourself to others. You don't need to prove you anything. Just be you. Be authentic. The fifth sign that you don't love yourself enough is you deny your feelings. So if someone hurts you and you don't pay attention to your emotions, you are just piling up. You are like a container, and those emotions keep dropping every now and then. Your emotions keep dropping. Oh, anger is dropping, sadness is dropping. Whatever emotion you feel, try to give it a name. This is a trick that I'm giving you. Sorry. Try to give whatever emotion you feel a name. If you feel a rage of adrenaline in your body, flushing through your body, okay, you give yourself a few seconds. What exactly is it that I'm feeling? And why is it here? Why am I feeling this way? Okay. Is this anger? Or is it anxiety? Because anger and anxiety and excitement, they have the same way. We feel them the same way. It is our brain that interprets it differently. So you give a name to that particular one you're feeling, and then you know how to control it. Because what you don't name, you cannot tame. Do I need to say that again? What you don't name, you cannot tame. So don't deny your feelings. If you are hurt, accept that you are hurt. You are human, and it's okay to be hurt. Men, especially, you don't pay attention to the fact that you are human. You have been sold this lie that you are a demigod. You're supposed to be a superhuman, which is wrong. You feel hurt, but you try to bottle it all in. This is why we have suicide rates higher in men than in women. 3 times higher. Men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women. Because they can't even open up. They don't cry. They don't show their emotions. They bottle it all in. And look at what it happened. Look at what it does. When your cup gets full, you know how when you pour water into a glass cup or into a cup, any container, and you keep pouring water, it keeps dropping. When it gets to that surface, to the top, it doesn't pour away immediately, right? Each drop, there's a surface tension, that one that makes it look curved, right? It just keeps pouring. It just keeps dropping. It takes only 1 drop of water for every other thing on that top to pour away. Just 1 more drop of water. Just 1 more emotion. That's all it takes for you to burst. Just 1 more negative experience. That is all it takes for you to take your life. That is why you must be able to name your emotions, accept what you are feeling, and seek ways to alleviate whatever you are feeling, whatever negative emotion you are feeling. Don't bottle your emotions up, please. You're not loving yourself enough when you do that. You are not. Actually, you are denying and you are hating yourself. The 6th sign that you don't love yourself enough is that you depend on others to make you happy, to feel valued, and to make decisions. So you cannot make any decision on your own. You have to wait for others to choose for you. You cannot go to the market and buy what you want. You don't even know what you want, do you? You can't be happy on your own. You keep putting that power to be happy. That power to be happy, you put that in the hands of others. Your own power to be happy. You allow others to dictate whether you are happy or not. Your self-worth, you allow others to choose that for you. When you don't give worth and value to yourself, others will value you the way they deem fit. Just like we talked when we discussed boundaries. When you don't set boundaries, people are going to treat you the way they know how to treat people, because based on their experiences, this is what they know they should do. But when you add value to yourself, when you give worth to yourself, when you're able to carry yourself with dignity, others will respect you and respect your boundaries. You cannot keep allowing others to weigh you on their scale. You cannot keep allowing others to determine whether you are going to be priced high or priced low. You cannot leave your decisions in the hands of others. Yes, you would need to hear their counsel. You need their criticism. But in the end, it all boils down to you. What is right for you? What is best for you? It's important that you develop this. Very, very important. Because you are denying yourself the power and the ability to create the life that you want. Because you're basing it on other people's opinion. You don't love yourself enough when you do this. You don't. Another one that I was a very big victim of is that you judge yourself harshly. So personally, our next two conversations is going to be on this majorly, right? Personally, I am huge on encouraging others. Oh, you dare not tell me your idea. You dare not tell me what you have in mind to do, because I'll make you believe so much that you can do it. I'll make you believe you can do it so much that you won't get started that moment you tell me about it. I'll give you 1,000,001 reasons to do it. And when someone comes, does something bad or feels low or makes a mistake and comes to tell me about it, I am very quick to calm the person down. But for me, Chinaza, you dare not make a mistake. You dare not flop. Don't even dare to be human. Because at any point I make a mistake, you need to hear me judge myself. I'm so very critical, and it's not good. Don't be like me. Oh, what were you even expecting? You've always been a terrible human being. So I don't even expect anything better from you. You're proving who you are. Of course, that was expected. That's what I would tell myself. I would tell myself so many mean things I would never tell any other person. And if I wouldn't tell it to anybody, why would I tell it to myself? Why? Why am I causing so much hurt and damage to my brain and to my subconscious mind by the things that I feed it? Why do I judge myself so harshly? Why do you judge yourself so harshly? You are denying yourself. You are not loving yourself enough. You've not accepted to be human. You've not accepted to be vulnerable. You've not accepted to be authentic. You say these days now, if I make a mistake, I'll just laugh at myself. Chinaza self. Next. And we move on. I mean, life goes on. I've come to that point in my life where I am okay with whatever happens. I've come to terms with yesterday. I'm living in today, ensuring that my today creates my tomorrow. Like the tomorrow that I want, that I'm using today to create it. But at any point that I make a mistake, a moral mistake, a professional mistake, a career mistake, I just dust myself up and get up. Because where we are going is still far, and I cannot waste my time judging a mistake that I made. I learn from them, and go on with my life. That should be your disposition too, right? This is me running quickly because I don't want us to get up to stay up to 1 hour here. Another one is you keep going back to the people that hurt you. This is very, very important. For those of you who have friends or who are in relationships that are toxic to you, you are in environments that don't support your growth. But for some reason, you keep going back there. You keep going back to the people who kill you with their words. You keep going back to that partner who doesn't see anything good in you. What exactly are you going back to? What exactly are you going back there for? For them to continue battering you with their words? You have a circle of friends that don't think you are good enough. You have a circle of friends that don't think you deserve something good. You have a partner that you cannot please. Some of you are even with partners that physically abuse you, and you go back to them. That is a huge sign of self-denial. It's a huge sign that you don't love yourself, because if you love yourself enough, you will enjoy your company. You will be okay with staying alone, with being alone. Because one of the reasons you are going back is because it could be for financial reasons, but it could also be because you are afraid of being alone. So many of us have that fear. You can't afford to stay on your own. You can't even afford to enjoy your own company. But self-love is loving every part of you, enjoying your company, enjoying that alone moment with yourself, having some me time. When you love yourself enough, you know well to walk away from any relationship whatsoever that threatens your peace, threatens your relationship with God, threatens your life. You don't deserve to be in those circles. So take a walk, a long one, and don't come back. They don't deserve you, whoever it is. Am I clear? Let me know. Say yes, you're clear. Type in yes, you are clear. Okay? So why is self-love and self-acceptance important? I'm going to run through it quickly. It makes living worthwhile for you, right? It makes living worthwhile for you, because when you don't love and accept yourself, you are always running away. You're always running. You're running from yourself. Bro Joe, I see your comments. Victoria, I see your comments. Okay, I'm clear. When you don't love yourself enough, when you don't accept yourself, you keep running away from yourself. But the thing is, no matter where you are, no matter where you go, you cannot run away from you. The only person that is always with you everywhere you are is you. So you cannot run away. But when you are able to accept yourself, come to terms with who you are, accept your not so good sides and your positive and beautiful sides, you're able to find a balance and work on your weaknesses and try to improve on those bad and not so good aspects of you to complement your already good attributes. You see that you are happier. You're not running away from anything from yesterday. You've come to terms with your past. You've made peace with your past. Accepting and loving yourself makes you more loving and comfortable to be around. How do I mean? Someone who doesn't accept herself or love herself is very self-critical. Is very, very judgmental. Yes. And they don't usually realize it. It is what you have that you give, right? And you don't even know that because you don't love yourself enough, you don't have what it takes to love someone else in a high capacity. So anyone that comes around you is always a trigger to you. If they are doing better than you are, you are not comfortable staying around them. And so you keep saying words subconsciously. You keep saying words that put people off. You keep giving off energies that put people off. But when you are accepting of yourself and vulnerable and authentic and in your best self, you see yourself being so free to relate with others. If you slip and fall, you stand up. I mean, physically, you stand up or you laugh at your mistakes. Others say, wow, Look the way she bounced back. You're very approachable. You are alive. When you accept yourself, you are alive. You start living. But as long as you don't, you keep living in the shadows, and the past and the fear you are trying not to face will continue to haunt you. Yes. Quickly to the third one is accepting yourself and loving yourself makes you more productive. I already talked about that. When you have a very good mental environment, if you have already won the battle in your mind, if you've already accepted yourself and loved yourself enough and just told yourself, I'm good enough, I'm handsome enough, I'm productive, you have these affirmations that you say to yourself, these positive words that you say to yourself, you see that you're going to be more productive at work, at anything that you do. Really. Because you're no longer self-critical. You're able to give more of yourself because you've accepted yourself. You bring the whole of yourself to the party. Let's do this. You know, if you are working in an office and you have colleagues and co-workers, they're going to enjoy your company. You see yourself being more creative with ideas. Because those other ideas you used to think were not good enough, you'll find yourself paying attention to them. Oh, this could be good. This could be good. Wow. And you're more productive. And you're happier. Okay? So how exactly do you come to terms with who you are? How exactly do you love yourself? How exactly do you accept yourself? Embrace who you are. Embrace yourself. Just embrace yourself. That's the best word I can come up with. Embrace yourself. Don't put off those negative sides. I know you don't really like them. I know you don't want to bring those topics up because they hurt, because the past doesn't hold much good memories for you. But look, let me tell you, when you make peace with your past, you're more comfortable to talk about it. If and when the need arises for you to talk about it. Because you've embraced it. Like, I can talk about my past right now, and believe me, it's not good. But I can talk about it because I've come to terms with what I can't change. I've embraced the not so good parts of me. I've embraced the fact that hey, let me tell you, I'm a little bit insecure. I used to be a little bit insecure about my body type, my shape. In 2020, I registered for a fashion course and we were taught body types, right? And I saw figure 8. I mean, who doesn't want some figure 8? Then I was questioning God before then. Why didn't you make me to be figure 8? My sister is figure 8. If she wears clothes like this, with or without any accessory, clothes always just look very good on her. But me, if I wear a straight gown, you think it's number 1. You think it's I. Because I am more on the straight shape. Is it rectangle or banana shape that they called it? It's funny, the names that they call these body types or body shapes. But this is what happened. I learned at that course, or in that course, if you have this body type, look at the way to dress. You have to love your body the way it is, but look at the way to dress, to look more feminine, to give off the energy and the aura you want to give off. So for my type, straight gowns are not for me. Body hugs are not for me. Yes. So I only wear clothes that are accessorized in the middle. So if I'm wearing any top, I have to wear belt on my waist. Yes, it's a must. If I'm wearing any gown, I have to wear belt on my waist so that it will give that illusion of a curvy shape. That is me accepting my body type. There's nothing to be ashamed of it. I just didn't think it was beautiful. But now, oh God, I have the best body in the universe. So embrace yourself. Embrace your insecurities. Embrace your flaws. Embrace your weaknesses. And look for ways to get better. That is self-love. So we talked about self-awareness and self-acceptance. And we said that it's being aware of your not so good qualities, right? And the good ones, accepting all of them together, while self-love is taking it a notch higher by taking intentional steps that make you better as an individual, as a person. Okay? Another one is forgive your past. We already talked that. Move on. Move on. Whatever the past holds is gone. I understand it can hurt. But if you don't confront it, it's going to continue haunting you. If you don't come to terms with it, it's going to continue messing with your head, with your present. And your past cannot have any power in your future. So why are you giving it that power? Take charge of your life and move on with your life. It doesn't deserve your attention. Whoever that hurts you, let them go for your sake and move ahead. Okay? Another one is make decisions that benefit you now and on the long run. It's very, very important. The decisions you are making today, how are they helping you? How are they helping you to get better? How are they helping you to be to get to where you want to go to? Or are you ensuring your downfall by the decisions that you make? Ask yourself that question. Are you loving yourself enough to be intentional about your goals and your visions and your dreams? Going for what you want, even when you don't feel like it, because it's what has to be done. Another one is eat healthy. How many of you eat junks? Junkies. Hi. One thing must kill a man. For real? Sorry. One thing must kill a man. So you have to eat everything that you want, that you lay your eyes on. Anything you can get your hands on, you're eating. Look, you are young, but you will not be young forever. So it's important that you eat foods that will benefit you on the long run. Eat foods that are healthy. Eat more homemade meals. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Less fried foods. Less of sugar. Less of carbonated drinks. Hello? You can't tell me you are loving yourself when you're smoking and you're drinking. and you are just consuming stuff that are killing you. Because these things you are eating, by the time you're older, you'll see how much effect they have on you. By the time you are 50, you are already holding your waist. How now? Why now? Why can't you stand up straight and walk at 50, at 60, at 70? But these are accumulations of what you ate when you were younger that are telling on you now. Ndi Bogasi, I go mile after dancing. Yes. After dancing, that the stress of all the dance you've ever danced will tell on your waist. So dance responsibly. I'm trying to be quick. Another one is allow yourself to make mistakes. Be vulnerable. That is being authentic. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to be seen. Why am I making this video now? Why is it not recorded? Why is it not a pre-recorded video where I can, if I make a mistake, I can easily tweak it and edit it and come out with a perfect video for this conversation? Why am I not making it in a way that you send questions and I answer them via video that I recorded? Why? Because I am allowing myself to make mistakes. I am being authentic. I've made some grammatical flaws in the line of this all the while I was talking, and I have flopped a couple of times. But that is me allowing myself, because that is what makes me me. I'm not trying to project perfection or an illusion of perfection to anyone. No. We're having honest conversations. So it's important that I'm in my most authentic self. I'm being honest with you. And I'm being real with you. So allow yourself to make mistakes. All right? Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Set boundaries. Go for retreats. I'm so happy because I am hosting a hangout next month at the Lakey Conservation Center, and a lot of my friends are going to be joining me at the hangout, and we'll have fun, we'll talk, we'll have an adventure, we'll eat, we'll just have some alone time to talk about life, talk about how things have been with us. No, it's not anything professional. Like I said before, I'm not interested in your professional life. It's just to help you recalibrate and refresh your mind so you can have the energy to move back into the field and the war. So set time aside for self-love, for adventure, for things that make you happy, for fun. Allow yourself to be free. Allow yourself to be happy. Be kind to yourself. Okay, you know when to rest, know when to walk. Set things for yourself. Okay, so by the way, if you're on this call and you've not registered, 9 slots have been taken. It's remaining 1 slot for the first 10 people to register, and I will have a group coaching section with them. I cannot wait for that one. Okay, by the way, let's continue. Be okay with taking baby steps. Be okay with taking baby steps. Don't try to have everything figured out, or sorry. Don't try to have everything all figured out. Don't try to have it all perfect at once. No. Take baby steps. You count 1 before you count 2. You want to count 1,000. I don't want to count 1. How now? Not be juju be that. Be okay with taking baby steps. Whatever baby step it is that, as I know, as it concerns you, whatever it is that's a baby step in your life, be okay with taking it. This conversation we're having right now is a baby step, because where I want this show to be in the next 20 years, you will not believe it. But I'm okay with taking baby steps now, because I know that where I'm going is great. And it is necessary that I allow myself to go through this phase. Okay? Farire said, you're in Ibadan. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sure there'll be another time for us to meet. Okay? Another one is improve on your weaknesses, but focus on your strengths. Don't try to keep, you already have something in your hand. Why are you trying to look for something else to hold? Focus on what you already have in your hand, but those other ones that are dragging you back, try to make adjustments. Okay? What you have in your hand is your strength. Play on your strengths, but work on your weaknesses, but pay more attention to your strengths. That's what you need to get ahead. All right? Surround yourself with positive energy. Surround yourself with positive energy. Friends, thoughts. I don't know, for some reason I have a very dry throat right now. So surround yourself with positive energy. People that motivate you, people that believe in you, people that cheer you up, thoughts that elevate you, thoughts that videos that make you feel better, videos that encourage you, videos that inspire you. You see, my social media, I don't have, you see, any negative news, it's only one person that I might see a glimpse of that on their stories or on their posts. But I don't see it littered everywhere on my social media, because I'm very intentional about what I put out and the things that I see. I curate my content on social media. So I don't see negative news. I don't see hate news or hate speeches. I'm intentional about that. So surround yourself with positive people, positive thoughts, positive content. It's going to help you a whole lot, all right? Now, practice gratitude. This is the last part. Practice gratitude. Okay? If there's anything that you need more than ever, it is to be grateful for where you are. It is to be grateful for the experiences that brought you to where you are right now. Because if you didn't have those experiences, chances are you wouldn't have gotten to this place. You wouldn't have learned the lessons you've learned. If not for the things that I've gone through, I'm sure I wouldn't have been this exposed. But I'm thankful that those things happened. I'm thankful that I went through all of those things. Look at me. I'm a lot better because I went through fire and I came out refined. I'm going through another fire, and by the time God is done with me, I will come out a lot refined. Okay, so in conclusion, If your life must be good, it is in your hands. You are responsible for how you feel and the turnout of events in your life. We already passed 1 hour. I was hoping we wouldn't pass that. But we already did. Thank you, Bright. I appreciate. Thank you, Farire. Thank you. So whatever your life will be, whatever the outcome of your life will be, it is all in your hands. If your life is going to be good, it's up to you. That was what Johnny Brady said in one of his videos that I watched. He said his life took a very different turn the day he realized that if he was going to be rich, if his dreams were ever going to be accomplished, it's all up to him. And so as a young boy, he started laying bricks to make money. So many of you keep waiting for others to make you feel good. If you're going to be happy, it's up to you. Make yourself happy first. Love yourself so that sorry. Love yourself so that your partner or your friends will not have to give more than they should in a relationship just because you have not done the work on yourself. Does that make sense? So many of you are waiting for your partners to make you happy. You're supposed to give me peace of mind. You're supposed to make me happy. You're supposed to What? They'll bring their own share of happiness to the relationship. You bring your own share of happiness to the relationship. Your own share of love, his or her own share of love to the relationship. That is how it works. You don't live yourself like that and expect someone to come and make you happy or to work. You don't work on yourself and expect someone to come and do what exactly? The work is in your hands. So do what needs to be done. All right. Commit to healing. Commit to growth. Love yourself enough to let go of things that don't serve you anymore. Love yourself enough to let go of people who disrespect you. Love yourself enough to read books that motivate you, to gain knowledge that takes you from point A to point B. Love yourself enough to do what is necessary for you to get to where you need to go. When you're not doing any of those things, you are denying yourself because you are capable already. You can do it, but you're not allowing yourself to do it. So you're denying yourself the privilege and the ability to prove to yourself that you can do it. Love yourself enough to take a leap. Love yourself enough to do what scares you. Give yourself the permission to shock yourself, to shock you. Do what scares you. So many of the people that are coming for the hangout, I'm sure many of them are afraid of heights. But they are coming because they want to confront their fear of heights. Because one of the activities we'll be doing there is to walk the canopy walk. It's very scary. When I went there, it was very, very scary. But I was glad I did. And see me going back. Do what scares you once in a while. Do something that makes you happy. Life is not that serious. Believe me, it's not. We are the ones who make it serious. And on that note, I have come to the end of my TED Talk. Thanks for coming. Do I have any question? Please let me know in the comments. Okay, thank you very much for staying here, for being here to the end. Please let me know. Let me see how many people are still with me. I see that 6 people are watching. Please comment. Let me give you a shout out. You're the last people remaining. Comment. Let me give you a shout out. If you have any question, put it in there quickly. Let me answer it before I go. Okay. Self-love and acceptance. You can't get to where you need to be. You can't get to where you need to be if you don't face the truth about where you're at. I love that quote very much. You can't get to where you need to be if you don't face the truth about where you are at. So it's important to know where you are in your current journey so that you can make progress. Hey, Sister Faith is here. Shout out to you. Good evening, Ma. It's good to have you here. Farinre, thank you very much. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you, Bro Joe. I am glad you're still here. It's been an awesome time with you, and I hope you learned something. Hope you will commit to loving yourself more. I hope you will learn to. I hope you have learned what it takes to accept yourself, and that you will actually accept yourself, because we could have these conversations, but in the end, the work is yours to do. That was why I ended with, if your life is going to change, it's up to you. It's in your hands. So I could talk from now till tomorrow morning, and if you're not committed to doing what is necessary, to doing the work, we'll only be just talking here. But the transformation comes when you are willing to do the work in yourself. And usually, what I do here is not something that is professional, like, okay, this is the strategy you're going to put, this is the marketing ad, this is the ad you're going to put, this is the words you're going to use to drive sales. This is inner work. This is the inner work in yourself that you need to do. And it's hard doing work in ourselves, in our minds. It's hard. But that's why I'm here, to help you. So make the commitment to be the best version of yourself, to live your best life by coming to terms with who you are and all that makes you beautiful and ugly, and loving yourself enough to go for what you want, to improve on what is not working. I love you all. Farime said it's my first time here. How did I not take notice of that? My bad. Right, please give Farire Zobo and Dodo. It's good to have you here, Farire. Osuji Grace, thanks for being here. Who else? Bright says lots of value gain tonight. Remain blessed, ma. I love you too. Ifeanyi, thank you very much. Wash hands. All right, guys. I'll see you next Thursday. Remember, we are always meeting here. Even if I don't put out any notification, just come here, bring your seat and wait for me. I must show up. And if I don't put out any notification that it's not going to happen, just be sure that it's going to happen. We're going to talk and talk and talk and have more conversations. And if you have more topics that you want us to discuss on this topic, on this conversation, or in this show, kindly let me know in my inbox, okay? So that I can schedule them for future conversations. And next week, we'll be having a guest speaker. Woo! We're having a guest speaker, and we'll be talking on a very important topic. She's a doctor, so we'll be talking about health. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited for that already. So get yourself ready for next week's conversation. It's going to be beautiful as usual. Farire, you want to buy my books? Okay. Please send me a DM. Okay, so we'll talk about it. I don't want us to take more time here. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful Thursday night rest and have a wonderful weekend ahead. I love you, and I'll see you next week. Same time, same station. Bye. I remain your host, Chinaza Favour. Bye.